first thing that comes to mind is about the culture that we have and that influences how we consider a child's voice. It's also so relevant is how do we communicate to young children. And what we find with working with young children in the care system who are in foster care or kinship care is that often people working to support them will think that children don't understand. They don't understand what's happening to them. So words aren't used to explain young children's experiences. And I think the more that we can talk with even pre-verbal little babies about what is happening to them, both day to day, but also in terms of the bigger picture about who are they going to be living with, why are they in care, the more we can talk about these things, the more young children can find their voice and communicate their needs, whether verbally or more likely for very young children, not verbally. So one of the things that we do is we often talk about a narrative or a story for young children to explain. For example, when you were very little, mummy and daddy had grown-up problems. That meant that they couldn't keep you safe and you went to live with so-and-so, and then naming feelings and what that might have been like. So starting to think about that, it can be really quite hard for people to think, how do you put things into words that are okay for very young children? Another thing that it touches on is trying to listen very carefully for where there might be real problems. So for example, we see some young babies and children who might not seek comfort from their caregivers in a way that means they're going to get their needs met. And for us, that is really a psychological emergency, because if a young child is not able to show that they need care from adults, which of course all young children do, then that is a crisis for their mental health development. Young children who are pre-verbal, they're going to show us their needs and wants, which would give us an insight into their voice through behaviours and interactions. And if we watch very carefully and look for patterns over time, we can cautiously infer what their voice and feelings are.